Hello, friends. Are these the top stocks to buy? That's a question we're going to be answering to the best of our ability today. We're looking at IRDM, NIO, Big C, PEN, NAMZN, the almighty Amazon. Today we're going to start with IRDM. This is, as I understand it, a plane tracking technology company using satellites to determine exactly where in space and time aircraft are, and as our world maybe one day starts flying again. This promises to be an interesting technology, and that's really the extent of my knowledge of it because I am a market technician. I like to watch the charts. So what is this chart telling me? Well, we're seeing a very, very strong bounce after daily oversold. We've seen some daily consolidation, which is always important, and we see a little bit of a broadening range opening up into a gap up and run today, following the strength of the market. We still have some resistance above us to go. We had resumed, or I should say we entered a daily downtrend since August, perhaps weekly consolidation. Yes, indeed, we did. We saw that drop, and now we're hopefully recovering. So the question is, what are we doing in the short term? And as we track toward 29.29? Well, I'm going to go to the 4-hour time frame, and I don't like what I see there as far as clarity goes. So I go to the hourly, and you know what? That seems to make a little bit more sense for me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the risk of ignoring this this little outlier here on low volume, 300 shares. Not too worried about that. And then going to try to draw myself a little bit of a trend. And you know what? That fits the bill pretty nicely. I'm going to go down and capture the bottom of my reds. That correlates with that. You know what? We got ourselves a nice hourly trend. So we can keep trading this for as long as it stays inside the trend. We're going to be following the standard RSI rules. So those dictate that during a trend, you will generally buy in the 50 area and sell when you get into overbought territory. That's usually going to be the top of your trend. And we can see that work out here. We're in the 50 range. We get back up here. We just clip into overbought. We can sell, get back down here into our 50s. We're at the bottom of our trend. You see how that works? That's pretty much how I would play this in the short term. A little bit of selling into after hours, but let's not be surprised. I was looking for entry opportunities in the area of 26. As long as we stay in this trend, that correlates well with our RSI. Continue this. Well, we can continue this for as long as the bulls allow us to. This is a nice trend. RSI is comfortable where it is in the 4-hour time frame. Taking consolidation opportunities. A little bit of bearish divergence developing, but the hourly looks just a-okay. So looking good so far. NIO, this was a beautiful setup we covered in our swing conference call that we do Sunday mornings for Chart Guys, for that Chart Guys community. I still like this guy. So on the daily time frame, we had broken above this key area of resistance, 2097 to 2092. Resistance, resistance, resistance. We got above it. We see it support, support, support. On the 4-hour time frame, we develop into a quasi bear flag with our lows without getting any follow through. And what we were watching for was the development of this hourly channel to see us close above and hold above that trendline resistance. Now, in after hours, we managed to get above it. We failed to hold that during our after hours, but we got back above toward the end of the day. All in all, what this does is it sets up a little bit of an hourly equilibrium. So this is why clearing our charts is important. We go do that. Now we can see that we have a low, a high, higher low, lower high, higher low. You get the idea. We're getting into an hourly equilibrium. As long as we maintain hourly support above 2107, we have the potential for a pretty nice hourly breakout into 4-hour bull flag breakout. Overall, I like NIO. Daily time frame, resistance is going to be the high of our flag at this point, 22.59. Big C, daily time frame, bulls holding pretty strong. We can see that at least it looks like we're developing a trend here. If we go to the 4-hour time frame, there she is. Perhaps we get a little bit better on the hourly, and you know what? That's not so bad. What I'm watching for on the hourly time frames is if we set a low and then we have a base of support, we break it and get a little bit of a bounce, then follow through. That tells me that I'm going to go to my larger time frame to try and find some support. I'm going to go ahead and try to draw on the bottoms of my reds, just like I always do. And you know what? That looks all right. That gets most of our action. Same rules apply. We're going to be watching for that overbought into 50 consolidation. 4-hour time frame looking okay so far. And on the daily time frame, we don't have a heck of a lot of resistance at this point, so bulls could carry this pretty well if they wanted to. We're going to go back to our 4-hour to try and find some short-term resistance. And really the only thing that stands out at this point is this guy up here at 110.85. And then right above us, well, let's turn our magnets on. So let's correct that resistance, 110.92 and 102.82. Could very easily just keep trending like this. PENN, daily time frame, going a little bit sideways, shaking off this big drop. It was an indecision drop on reasonable volume, and then the bulls really cast a nice vote of confidence with the big volume, big green bar back to the upside, still trending slightly down. Now, if we wanted to just ignore a lot of data, which sometimes you have to do, I'm not suggesting it, we're going to do it in this case, but we can almost draw in a little bit of a tightening range here. And this is what we're ignoring to make that happen. Sometimes I am more open to that idea because we see the drop and we see the bulls correcting it, but you can't just ignore the fact that we spent 12, 18 hours down in that price range. So what we can do is go look toward more of the short term and determine what the heck are the bulls and bears doing in this range. Same idea. It's going to be a continuation of what we had just looked at, but we're just going to be focusing on this and this and this tightening range, and that's that. Daily time frame, if we can get over top of that resistance and we get out of this little bit of a tightening range, I want to see bulls over 75.46. If we can do that, we're so close to the overall high at 76.62 that, well, are we going to be in contention for a blue sky breakout? I think we are. That would give us a nice weekly higher low. Of course, this is just Monday, so this could change rapidly. But if we set this as a higher low and we see the bulls moving up this week, breaking out of this consolidating range and this tightening range, that would be a pretty nice resting point for the bulls. I would love to see a red week to get that healthy consolidation. But at this point, I would just take it. I would be happy with the trade, and I would be looking for more sustained upside. If the bulls can hold this range, see some strength tomorrow. Again, resistance in the area of this trend line on the 4-hour time frame. Right now, and tomorrow, but 73.70 is a good range for that. Amazon. This one has been tracking the market more or less, and it hasn't really been as exciting as the market has been. And really, you just trade the market if something's trading the market. You know what I mean? 4-hour time frame. Can we look for patterns? Can we see anything useful? We lost 4-hour higher lows. If we get that lower open, we saw that strength. Of course, the market carried us today. And did we see a lower low underneath this little 4-hour doji? We just did, just barely. So now what we're going to look for is an answer to the question: can bulls close above their recent high, 32.29.31? If they're able to do that in the 4-hour time frame, we will continue our daily uptrend, but it is just not that exciting at all. 15-minute time frame, higher highs, higher lows most of the day. And going back to what I discussed about the hourly, looking for lows, here we see our 15-minute time frame. We lose a 15-minute support. We don't get much follow through on the loss of that support. So we technically develop a 15-minute downtrend. A lack of follow through and then into a bounce tells me that the hourly time frame is really where we need to spend our time at the moment. So anything over 31.57 on the hourly time frame is going to give us another hourly higher low, but ultimately we want to get over $3,200.29. Oh no, $3,229.31. That's right, I can read prices correctly some of the time. That's it. I'm really excited about the NIO trade. I'm not taking it, but that's not uncommon. I really like the setup. I really hope it has good follow through. RDM, beautiful hourly time frame. Big C, 4-hour trend, and PENN. Let's see if we can get a breakout out of this tightening range. Pretty exciting setups overall. I love watching these develop. I love talking about charts, and I love learning. And if I am incorrect on an analysis, I love to spend time going back and analyzing and trying to determine what did I miss? What could I have seen? And what would have given me a more accurate analysis about what's going to happen? So these will be fun to review over the next couple of days. If you like that sort of thing, check out chartguys.com. If you have a video that you would like, or a ticker you'd like me to request, if you have a ticker that you'd like me to cover, please send a request. Post a ticker in the comments and I'll see if I can do it tomorrow for you. Thank you for watching, and this video is useful. Please consider subscribing, liking, all of that fun stuff. It does help us quite a bit.